Alright guys, so this is what I was talking about. So what I did is I put the indicators, and I'll have you pan over here. I put the base of the machine indicator on top of it, and then I put the actual indicator, zeroed it out, and put it on top of the chuck. Granted, yours is going to be a way bigger setup because your machine's a lot bigger, but my goal is to take a board. Now this is kind of a little bit too big for me for this size spindle. It's only I think it's a 19-inch LeBlond. What you do is you take this board and you just put pressure on the spindle. So what you're doing is you're lifting up the spindle and you're checking for lift. So I'll have you come over here, Matt, and over here. Come on.
Sorry.
You're good. So in the video, you're not going to see me, but I'm actually pressing up on it, and see how it's moving about a half. Now, granted, this is way too big of a board for my spindle, but that's what you're looking for. For your spindle, it's going to be a lot different. Now, the other thing that I was thinking about is a tailstock. When I originally described you the tailstock, I was saying to butt the tailstock up against the spindle, but I was told by two other people, why don't you just check for the lift on the tailstock? So what you're going to do is you're also going to put the base of the indicator on the base of the tailstock, and then we want to indicate the quill, all right? And we want to check for lift. So you're going to see how bad my machine is. So, but if you come around to the side, and if you can see that indicator, you can see it lifting. Now, granted, I got way too much force behind this thing, but I can move this thing quite a bit. I'm also rotating, so I'm getting a false reading. But you want to check the lift on your machine to see if it's also the tailstock that could be giving you issues on top of the spindle bearing. So you want to see where your false at, or where your discrepancy is. You could still take the tailstock, bring it all the way forward to your the chuck, and instead of taking the indicator on the top of it, you can put it on the back half of it and see if you have movement going in and out, because it should be a big Timken bearing up front, and a lot of times there's a nut where you got to suck them up to it and tighten it up. As it gets worn out, it could be hanging forward, which is coming out of the race a little bit. Don't put that much force this way, please. That's what my guys are telling me, but that is another way of looking at it for yourself. I'm not sure if you guys are having a problem with the tailstock, but since you're doing this, it doesn't make sense not to do it. And then let's see what the data comes back at. That's a big fucking headstock though. Just gonna let you know to put those gears in, and those gears probably have like 1/2,000 clearance on each side, like 2.5 tenths. And to put a heavy ass gear on that spindle is gonna be very difficult. To do that job, you particularly wanna have it upright and slide everything in. But let's look at that first, and we'll go from there. Thank you.